Hi friends, I'm Miss Kat. I'm one of the STEM educators at Boys and Girls Club, and today I want to be showing you how to have fun with graphs. One thing that I've always, wondered was how can we make math more fun? Because a lot of people don't like. So today, like I said, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be creating graphs, and specifically line graphs, and we are going to make art out of it. So what you're going to need for today is a sheet of paper. I have a black Sharpie, but you can just have a black marker. And then you can have any other colors you want. You can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, anything you want, just to make it your art. So before we get into the art part of this, let me talk to you about what things go on graphs. So today in particular, I want to teach you how to create a line graph and the parts of a line graph. So a line graph is a graph that displays the relationship between an independent variable. So it's something that you control, like time or the amount of time that something is happening, and the dependent variable, which is the result or something that depends on the time. So like the temperature of Austin. So you're probably still confused what I meant by that, but that's okay because we're going to go through it step by step. So first, let's set up our graph. So most graphs usually start with this setup, and that's including a line graph. And so this is our x-axis, and our x-axis is where our independent variable, or the thing that we control, is going to be. So for example, a lot of line graphs use time as their independent variable, so that's also going to be in my example later. And then this one is our y-axis. Our y-axis is going to have the values of the results. And so for my example, it's going to be the temperature of Austin. And so these are our two axes, and now we need to put data on here. But you're probably thinking, what data am I going to put on here? Good question. Let's see. So kind of like I was saying in my example, I want to find something that changes over time. So I'm going to do the monthly average high temperatures in Austin. And so the first thing that comes up is basically the average high and low temperatures in each month. So on our graph, I'm going to put each of the months on the x-axis because that is our time and that is what I am controlling, because our temperatures is a result of the month of the year. So I'm going to write these on my x-axis. So this is what my graph looks like at this moment. So like you see, I put the time down here. Oh, we're going to go back to your data. Then I'm going to be looking at the highest average temperature of the month, and it looks like it gets up to about 96 on average. And so I'm going to make some tick marks up to the number 96. But bam. So now I just did it to 100 to make it easier to make the spacing. And so I kind of made it every 12 or 13. And so we will be able to see the average high temperatures. So now that we have our graph ready, let's start plotting the points. And to do this, I want you to, using your data, you're going to find, say, the January high, and that was about 61. And then you are going to stay on this line, and you're going to find about where 61 is. So on mine, it was about right here, so I'm going to put a plot point there, just like that. Now we're going to go to February, and February was 65. So it's going to be just a little above, not too much. Then March was 73. And then April was 80. I need to make sure I'm still staying on the April one. It's gonna be right about here, I guess. And then you're just gonna finish using all of them. That I have all my plot points on here, I'm going to connect these using straight lines. So now you should have something like this. And so what this is representing, so instead of looking at a table like that, if I wanted to just use my graph, I would come to the month and I would come to the plot point, and then I would see what temperature is about the average high. And so that's what I'm going to put for my title. So here we go, average high per month in Austin. Now is the fun part. We are going to incorporate art into our graph. So what I want you to do, using your curve or whatever line that you have, you are going to draw it into a picture. So here is my example. So you can see that I kind of use this as like a roof of my seasons. And so I kind of separated it by seasons, and then I drew what I felt like during the seasons. So yeah, this is just an example of what I want you to do. This is just an example of how we can make math fun by incorporating art and, just creativity into it. And I hope you stay tuned for more STEM videos.